No one knew what had happened to Elisa Lam. The 21-year-old Canadian student had come to Los Angeles alone in January 2013. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, a place with a long, dark history: serial killers, suicides, unexplained deaths. But Elisa didn't know that. She was traveling the West Coast on her own, updating her blog and calling her parents every day, until she stopped. On January 31st, she was supposed to check out and head to Santa Cruz. She never did. She stopped posting online. She stopped answering calls. Her parents reported her missing, and the police began searching the hotel. Nothing turned up. No signs of struggle. No evidence of where she went. That would have been the end of it, another missing person in a city full of them. But then the video surfaced. Security footage from an elevator inside the hotel showed Elisa Lam acting strangely. She steps in and presses multiple buttons. The elevator door doesn't close. She hides in the corner, peeks out, jumps back in. Her hands move in slow, fluid motions, as if she's speaking to someone who isn't there, or something. She moves like she's underwater, confused, scared, and clearly not alone, though no one else appears in the footage. The video was released to the public, and it went viral almost instantly. Everyone had a theory: drugs, mental illness, demonic possession, time travel. The truth was somehow worse. 2 weeks after she disappeared, hotel guests started complaining about the water: low pressure, strange taste, black color. Maintenance staff went to check the water tanks on the roof. That's when they found her. Elisa Lam's naked body was floating in the sealed water tank. Her clothes were found at the bottom. Her phone was never recovered. There was no evidence of sexual assault or physical trauma. The official cause of death: accidental drowning. But nothing about it made sense. How did she get onto the roof, past the locked and alarmed doors? How did she lift the heavy metal lid of the tank and close it behind her? Why was she naked? Why was she acting like that in the elevator? The hotel staff said no one saw her go up. No alarms were triggered. The only access was via a locked door with a passcode. Some say she was hallucinating. Some say she was chased. Some think the elevator never malfunctioned. Elisa just wasn't alone in there, and we were never meant to see who or what was with her. The footage is grainy. The timestamp jumps. Maybe something was cut. Maybe we only saw what they wanted us to see. To this day, no one can fully explain what happened to Elisa Lam. Her death remains one of the most disturbing and surreal mysteries ever caught on camera. And the Cecil Hotel, now rebranded and remodeled, still stands in downtown Los Angeles. But those who stay there sometimes report strange things: footsteps on the roof, sounds in the pipes, shadows that move on the surveillance screens. Whatever happened to Elisa didn't end when her body was found. Some say it's still up there, waiting. A young woman found dead in her home in rural Greenbrier County, West Virginia, in January 1897. Her name was Elva Zona Heister. She had only been married for a few months. Her husband, Erasmus Shue, seemed devastated. He buried her quickly, insisted on dressing the body himself, and then tried to move on. But Elva's mother, Mary Jane Heister, didn't believe it was an accident. Not for a second. She said something wasn't right. She said her daughter came back to tell her so. At first, Mary Jane kept her suspicions quiet. The doctor had listed childbirth as the cause of death, though no one knew if Elva had even been pregnant. But it wasn't just the hurried funeral or the strange way Shue acted afterward that unsettled Mary Jane. It was the way Elva's neck seemed, loose, too loose, like it had been broken. And then the dreams started, or at least, that's what she called them. 4 nights in a row, Mary Jane claimed her daughter's ghost appeared at the foot of her bed, glowing and cold. In a trembling voice, Elva whispered that her husband had killed her. He was cruel. He had broken her neck in a fit of rage. Was it just grief? A desperate mind clinging to hope for justice? Maybe. But Mary Jane didn't keep it to herself. She went straight to the local prosecutor and demanded they reopen the case, not based on evidence, but on a ghost's testimony. Surprisingly, the prosecutor listened. Maybe it was how sincere she sounded, or how odd the original autopsy had been. He agreed to exhume the body. What they found changed everything. Elva's neck was broken clean through, her windpipe crushed. Her cause of death had never been natural. The signs of a violent attack had somehow gone unnoticed or unreported. The husband, Erasmus Shue, was arrested and put on trial. The prosecution built their case on physical evidence, but the reason the body was ever exhumed in the first place came from a ghost. And in an incredible twist, that story was told in court. Mary Jane took the stand and repeated, under oath, that her daughter had visited her from beyond the grave to name her killer. The defense mocked it, but the jury believed her, or at least they believed something was wrong. Shue was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. He died behind bars 3 years later. To this day, it's the only known U.S. case where a ghost's message helped convict a murderer. Some call it folklore. Others swear it's real. But the court records are clear. A mother claimed her dead daughter spoke to her, and that voice from the grave led to justice.